Okay, Broncos country, looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We've got to let the stream breathe for just a second here and make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos Syndicate breaking news live stream. I'm your host, Gage Madrid, and as you can tell by the title, it is not good news for the Denver Broncos and running back J.K. Dobbins. Excuse me. But before we officially get into that, guys, if you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button on this stream, as well as subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out. And helping the channel grow, I would really appreciate it. The link is in the description below. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it here and not beat around the bush. Not this button. This button. Broncos running back J.K. Dobbins will be placed on injured reserve with a foot injury that requires surgery and likely ends his season. Dobbins sustained the injury on a hip drop tackle during the Broncos' Thursday night win against the Raiders. He's set to become a free agent after this year. Dobbins was 5th in the league in rushing, and he is expected to make a full recovery. Damn, that sucks. There is no other way to put it, Broncos country. It absolutely sucks. J.K. Dobbins was the Broncos' most reliable player on the offensive side of the ball, and now he's out for the season. The Broncos are going to have to rely on R.J. Harvey, Jaleel McLaughlin, Tyler Bidet, possibly Deuce Vaughn. We'll see if Denver makes an outside move at running back in the next couple of days. There are not very many intriguing names out there, unfortunately. There are a couple. There's one in particular that does intrigue me. We'll talk about that in just a second. But, yeah, it's not great, man. It is not great at all. We got Roan in the house saying, yo, WTF. We got Narisco in the house saying, rest in peace, Dobbins. I was not expecting this. Dennis says, sad. Narisco says, Raider Nation is lame. Go Broncos. I'm right there with you, my friend. It sucks. It definitely sucks, man. J.K. Dobbins was doing everything for you. He was the main reason why your offense was manufacturing really anything. Now it's going to be on the passing game, especially, to step up. There's a reason why they went and got little Jordan Humphrey. We're going to see a lot more of these perimeter screen plays. I know that they frustrate a lot of fans, but we're going to see them a lot more now because our run game has taken a very significant hit. BFA5 says, so unlucky. He's such a good player. Bronco fan asks, do you think they'll bring him back next year? I mean, it's too early to say at this point. I'd love to have him back, but yeah, it's definitely too early to say. Bobby in the house saying, this is horrific, man. Thought we'd at least have him for the playoffs. George and Sean hosed us with not trading or having a solid plan for a guy that gets injured a lot. Hopefully RJ is ready. I know one thing. There was a move I wanted them to make in the draft. They could have drafted Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in the 7th round. Instead, they took Caleb Lohner. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has had some really nice flashes for Washington this year and could have stepped in and really helped out our run game alongside R.J. Harvey. Now it's really slim pickings at that position. Hindsight is 20/20, but you guys, if you were here during the draft, you'll know I said it then, and I'm going to say it now. This isn't just a hindsight thing for me. I wanted Ja'Cory then, and I want him now. It sucks. It really does. He's had to battle so much adversity in his whole career. He has, man. It really sucks. He's had so many injuries, from the Achilles to the ACL. Last season, it was a foot injury with the Chargers. That's why they didn't bring him back, and now it's this. So yet another foot injury. Ugh. Rayanne says, gut-wrenching. Vengeance says, go get Blake Watson again and ride it out. He's in Tennessee right now. Blake Watson isn't really the guy who intrigues me. Damian Martinez, the former University of Miami running back, I kind of wanted the Broncos to draft him in the 7th round. Seattle got him. He didn't make the team. He got cut from the practice squad like 6 weeks ago. Can you guys hear me, Broncos country? I dropped my mic. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I really, really hope that it's not too loud. I am a little worried that it is. Let's go ahead and turn that down a little bit. There we go. That's probably a little bit more palatable. This mic is a little bit frustrating sometimes. There we go. Let's try that again. Boom, shakalaka. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Broncos, baby, F the Chiefs. Rest in peace, Dobbins. RJ Harvey, stand up. He's going to need to step up. He definitely is going to need to. Honestly, I don't care if he's out for the season as long as we re-sign him. We'll find that out in due time. Jesus, my mic is too loud, isn't it? Let me know how my audio sounds, guys. Is it too loud? They need to push the trade deadline back further. This is crazy. I mean, I'm a proponent of just not having a trade deadline at all. I know that's not a popular take, but I'd rather just not have a trade deadline at all, personally. Ray Ann says, do you think we can go all the way if RJ shows up? I hope so. I hope so, but he's going to have to show up. That's the big thing. He's going to have to show up. We got Donnie in the house saying, God damn it, dude. Yeah, it blows. At least he got us to 8-2. Bo needs to step up now for sure. Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely does. Liz Frank, we don't know for sure. They're probably not going to tell us, but either way, we're probably not going to have him for the rest of the season. Rayanne says, F my life. All right, you guys can hear me. Very good. Let me know if it's too loud and I can adjust it, guys, because, again, this microphone, I'm still trying to learn it. It boosts up and then the audio goes down. Like it acts really weird sometimes. It's a Blue Yeti. So if any of you guys know how to deal with some of these microphones and deal with like the audio levels and stuff, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. Definitely not going anywhere without Dobbins this year. That's not necessarily true, man, but other guys are going to have to step up. It's that next man up mentality. Good teams find ways to have guys step up. We've been able to contend with without our best player overall in Pat Surtain, and we've done a pretty good job. So, again, man, good teams find a way to get the job done. Hopefully, RJ Harvey can be that guy for us. Norisco says, I hate the Chiefs. Lost Dobbins, Singleton, and PS2. This will make things difficult. It is going to be a very difficult outing against Kansas City. I recorded my game preview video. I processed it and was just getting ready to upload it when this news came out. So, if you guys want more of my thoughts on how this game in particular is going to go, I will encourage you to wait about 30, 45 minutes once that video is out. That way, you guys can hear my full in-depth thoughts on this game. What are we going to do about a running game now? Like I said, RJ Harvey is going to be the number one back. Jaleel McLaughlin is probably going to be the number two back. Tyler Bidet is going to be in the same role. He's going to be that third down pass protection running back, the Samaje Perine role, and we're going to see what they do from there. Do they elevate Deuce Vaughn? Do they bring somebody else onto the practice squad? At this point, we don't know. Damian Martinez, like Roan says, that was a name that I had mentioned as a possibility. I would not hate Damian Martinez here at all, but he got cut from the Seahawks practice squad and hasn't emerged since. So I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know if it's like some sort of off-the-field issue. It's definitely a really intriguing conversation there with Damian Martinez. Is Gus Edwards, Zach Moss, Jamison Williams, Ezekiel? Well, Jamison Williams is a wide receiver, but I mean, Gus Edwards is available. Zach Moss is available. I'm not going with Ezekiel Elliott, not whatsoever. But at this point, I have a Blue Yeti microphone. Just put the volume in the middle and it should be fine. The problem with this Blue Yeti, though, is it spikes. Like, sometimes whenever I unplug it and plug it back in, the audio spikes super duper high, even when I have the level set at like medium. I have no clue why it does that. I don't know if this mic is defective or what. I was able to get it second-handed, so I have no clue if it's just a defection there or what's going on. We learned over the preseason. We learned plenty of depth on defense. Super excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for tomorrow, too. We have good depth on defense. Hopefully, we have good depth on offense. F the Raiders, I agree. Zach Moss is the best option. Out of that group, probably, but still, that doesn't really move the needle at this point in time. I want to say Zach Moss had a season-ending injury last year too. So, oh, man, this is just the worst time for this to happen. Right after the trade deadline, it stings. Definitely going to miss 27. RJ Harvey's time to shine. Next man up. Like I said, good teams, they have that next man up mentality. If they're able to overcome this, then we know the Denver Broncos are indeed a good football team. But, man, it's just frustrating. I'm trying to find something positive to say here, but it's really hard to find something positive to say whenever one of your best players goes down. I hate the Raiders. First Javonte and now JK. I can hear you just fine. Very good, very good. I'm just worried about the audio being too high and it's spiking. That's all. Sean's time to show why you drafted him. Exactly. I'm seeing that he might be back after 6 weeks, might have Dobbins for the playoffs. Where are you finding that? Let me know. Raiders always try to hurt our running backs. Philip Lindsay, too. That's true. Philip Lindsay also got hurt against the Raiders. Dennis Murtha says, let's go Broncos, Broncos, and let RJ run. You're good. It goes with the frustration. Yeah, it is. It's just frustrating. There's no other way to put it. It's frustrating. Dobbins is done. 6 weeks brings us to week 17. Well, at that rate, he'd return for the playoffs, but at this point, based on Adam Schefter's report, that's probably not going to happen. Philip Lindsay was hurt versus the Raiders as well. Indeed, RJ Harvey's got to step up. I think RJ will be just fine. We knew from the start Dobbins was on the clock before it was over. I mean, listen, man, we knew that Dobbins had a chance to go down. This was just a circumstance that he couldn't control, got hip drop tackled. We knew that he had that injury history and it was always a possibility, but he'd been playing so well for us. We'd kind of compartmentalized it in the back of our minds, and we were just hoping that the injury woes were behind us with him, and unfortunately, it's just not the case, man. Ray Tito says, let's go Broncos. 9 News reported that. Okay, so I'm assuming that came from Kliss. I'll have to go check that out. In fact, I'll check that out right now, see if Kliss tweeted something. Hopefully it's good news. Let's see, what do we got, Kliss? Yeah, Kliss is reporting foreseeable future. Shefty said likely season ending. I'm trying to find Kliss's article here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about a definitive timeline, but either way you slice it, the Denver Broncos, they're going to have to be without J.K. Dobbins for the foreseeable future. Will this affect the Broncos re-signing him this offseason? Yeah, it's definitely possible, but I think we're a little bit too early to have those discussions. Next man up, for sure. Salute, Gage, and damn, what a bummer. That sucks. F them Raiders even more. I feel you, man. If RJ can get 12 to 16 carries a game, he's going to be a top 10 running back. He might be, but it's still a really big loss because RJ Harvey, he's got some vision issues. He likes to bounce everything to the outside. In my opinion, J.K. Dobbins had some of the best vision in the entire NFL and really was an explosive threat for this Broncos team. I think Harvey can be explosive in his own right, but in terms of reliability on a down-to-down basis, we're going to find out if he can bring that very, very soon. Hopefully, Bidet won't be the next man up. I'm tired of seeing drop wheel routes and checkdowns. I feel you. I mean, everybody's frustrated with Tyler Bidet. He's going to see snaps on third down just because he's a pass protection running back, and that's what he does. But, yeah, hopefully he doesn't see more touches as a result of this, for sure. Raiders have played dirty since Tom Flores in the 80s. Yep, for sure, man. The Raiders have always been known as kind of a dirty team. They lead the league in penalties almost every single year. That's just the reputation of the Raiders. So who's going to back up our rookie running back? Probably Jaleel McLaughlin as of right now. They've also got Deuce Vaughn on the practice squad. We'll find out if they elevate him, and we'll find out if they make an outside move, but there's just not a lot of people out there. J.K. should not have returned in the Raiders game, might have made the injury worse. I don't think that had anything to do with it. The injury was the injury. The way his foot got compressed, they're not going to report it, but I think he suffered a turf toe. That's what I think it was. It looked exactly like Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy, the way the toe just got completely jammed and destroyed, man. you can tear multiple ligaments in that toe based on that mechanism. That's what I'm worried happened. I don't know for sure. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm a football analyst, but that is the injury that I'm worried about. I don't think him returning in that game had anything to do with it. This year was probably the easiest road to a Super Bowl for a while. This sucks. I still think we can win a Super Bowl. I still think this is a Super Bowl caliber team, but this was a significant blow. Yeah, Julian, definitely sucks. RJ is more of a pass-catching back. Without Dobbins, we likely won't have any run game to speak of, and teams will just shut down our one wide receiver. Tomorrow is going to be rough. They're going to have to find a way to manufacture a run game. And Sean Payton, he's a good coach. I expect him to find a way. And even if that means screens to be sort of your pseudo run game, I think that will at least help keep the offense on schedule. This Broncos team has done a good job on offense without a good run game dating back to last season. So we've seen them do it before. It's going to be kind of like the days of last year where you didn't have much of a run game to speak of. What about Frank Gore Jr. off the Bills practice squad or Cam Akers off the Vikings practice squad? I would be more intrigued with Akers. Frank Gore Jr., maybe, but we need somebody who can maybe slide into a potential starting role. Cam Akers, that would be intriguing. We'll probably make a video about him. Yeah, sucks for JK, man. We don't know for sure if it's season ending yet, but based on these reports, based on the report from Adam Schefter, yeah, it's definitely not looking good. Let's go ahead and bring that Shefty report back there. There we go, guys. Yeah, it does suck indeed, Bronco fan and Mark. I completely agree with you. Remember last year when Crosby took a shot at Nix long after the ball was gone and the refs didn't flag him for it? I don't remember that exact play, but that does sound about right. We don't know for sure if it's a Liz Frank. I'm thinking either Liz Frank or turf toe. Again, the way that his foot got jammed, I'm kind of thinking turf toe. Wish we had traded for Breece Hall. I mean, at the time, we didn't really need him. It's kind of one of those situations where I wish the trade deadline didn't exist because now you do need him and you can't get him. Every time we play the Raiders, someone's always getting injured. Yeah, it's true. Silver lining, RJ's development is going to catapult now. All practice reps and game reps, he should be much better by the playoffs. That's true. RJ's talked about how he is seeing the game a lot faster. He's gotten better over these last couple of weeks in terms of dealing with the speed of the game. So hopefully that continues as he gets more and more reps. The best way to improve is to get more and more reps. I'm tired of this, man. I feel you. I think we all are tired of these injuries. Raiders would do that, and that was a dirty play. It was an illegal hip drop tackle. Fines are going to come out later today. I would not be surprised at all if Tyree Wilson got fined for that. I hope we sign JK back. Me too. Yeah, it stings, Gabe. It really does. Remember last year? Oh, we already saw that one. Probably the one that hip drop tackled Javonte. Yeah, that's true. And that injured his knee. That is 100% true. We need a power back, and Harvey isn't it. So we have to sign another one off of a practice squad. There's probably not many options available in terms of power backs. Everybody needs a power back, honestly. Harvey plays a very similar game to Travion Henderson. They both like to drive outside and have the speed to be able to do so. This might be a blessing in disguise. We'll find out very quickly. It's season ending. NFL just posted he's having season ending surgery. Yeah, I mean, if Shefty's saying it, then that's very reliable. I'm going to trust Shefty there. And if the NFL's confirming it, then there you go. Genty's about to be targeted by our boy's nickname. I don't want any of that. I don't want to see anybody get injured on either side of the ball. Injuries are the most screwed up part of this game. I don't want to see that. Yeah, still, man, we don't want to see any injuries. I'm excited to see what full-time RJ Harvey will look like. Cody Rourke reported Liz Frank. Okay, well, there you go. Cody would know. It's actually crazy that the sorry-ass Raiders get 2 primetime games in a row. I'm with you, man. Nobody wants to watch the Raiders on primetime, but that one was probably more because of the Cowboys than the Raiders, and what do you know? Both teams are absolute ass. Time to use RJ's strengths for sure. I think we're going to see a lot more runs to the outside, which is what RJ's good at. Also what Jalil's good at. Both of them are going to be in line for an increase in snaps in this game. Yep, Javonte was injured by the Raiders, was never able to get that production back. Yeah, but Javonte, multi-ligament knee injury. Hopefully, it's not as serious here. Liz Frank injuries, they typically suck in terms of ending your season, but it's probably not going to be a career ender or anything like that for Dobbins. But this is yet another injury for him. He's had an injury in pretty much every season of his career. That does make me wonder if the Broncos are going to bring him back. Gold says Chiefs by 17. I don't want us to become a dirty football team. Exactly. The Raiders have a reputation, a long-standing reputation of being a dirty football team. I don't ever want the Broncos to get that type of reputation. That is the worst type of reputation that you could have in the entire league. I don't want anything to do with that here in Denver. Bring back Estime. F it. Estime is on the active roster for the Saints right now, so he's not an option. And Benjamin Albright reported that they wouldn't bring him back even if he were available. That ship has sailed. The team has moved on, and Estime has moved on. This is the story of JK's life. Unfortunately, it is. I'm just sick of the hip drop tackles. Me too. And what pisses me off the most is that this play wasn't even flagged. We've got to start flagging these hip drop tackles. Finding guys after the fact is not deterring them from making these tackles. We've got to penalize them in game. I do think we will see a little bit of RJ in the Wildcat. We've already seen some of that this year. I don't know if we'll see Jaleel, given the fact that Sean seemed to have a problem with having him active. There's a reason for that, Joe. You only have 3 running backs up on game day. Jaleel McLaughlin is not going to bring you anything in terms of pass protection. You already had Dobbins and Harvey as your 1A and 1B, and then you've got Bidet as your Samaje Perine, who's your pass protecting back. There just wasn't a spot for Jaleel on the active game day roster. Now there is. There's a reason why he's still here and he hasn't been cut. He's not in the doghouse or anything like that. There just hasn't been a role for him. Now there is. Sean loves him, and I expect Jaleel to get a lot of action moving forward. Yep, he is indeed done for the season. According to Cody Rourke, it's a Liz Frank injury, and it's going to have surgery, and yeah, season ending. Definitely sucks. I love JK, but he can't finish a season ever. I've lost count of how many season-ending injuries he's had. I think this is his 3rd. I mean, he had an ACL and an Achilles in Baltimore. He had an injury last year with the Chargers. I think it was a knee or a foot or something like that. But he did come back from that injury, and then this one now. I wish they had tried to get Breece Hall. I know hindsight is 20/20, but still, hey, man, I wanted him to draft Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in the 7th round, regardless of what happened afterwards, signing J.K. Dobbins and him being incredible. You had the opportunity to get a starting caliber player in the 7th freaking round, and instead you decided to take a developmental tight end who isn't even on your 53-man roster. That was malpractice, in my opinion. You've got to throw those darts at starting caliber players, and anybody who scouted Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt knew he was starting caliber. I was at the Shrine Bowl scouting him, and there were Broncos scouts standing about 20 feet away from Cecil Lammey and I. They saw what we saw out there. They knew he was a starting caliber player, and instead they decided to draft a basketball player turned tight end. So I understand hindsight is 20/22, but that's the one that really, really stings for me, especially given what Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has done for the Commanders. He's their starting running back, and oh man, it frustrates me. I understand that you drafted a guy in the 2nd round that you were hoping to be your RB1, and then you got a guy in J.K. Dobbins later on, but you had the opportunity to get a starting caliber player in the 7th freaking round, and you didn't do it. It's frustrating. There aren't very many, Bronco fan. There really aren't. It's slim pickings right now. There are some options here and there. We'll probably make videos about them, but yeah, it's pretty slim pickings right now. I just hope that Jaleel won't mean we go back to the screen-heavy game plan like the Giants. I believe we will, but that's why you brought in little Jordan Humphrey, somebody who can actually block these screens and make them go for the 4 or 5, even 7 yards per clip that they went for last year, as opposed to the 2 or 3 yards per clip that they're going for this year. I don't hate that they call the screens. I hate that they can't block them for shit. It's not his fault. F the Raiders. I agree, man. I agree. I'm seeing the injury as a 6 to 12-month recovery timetable. I don't know if it's that much, but he's probably not going to return this season. It would be crazy if we do bring JK back. He ends up on the if we don't bring JK back and he ends up on the Cowboys with Javonte Williams. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. What do you want Denver to sign, or who do you want Denver to sign? Gus Edwards? I mean, maybe, but it doesn't really move the needle for me, to be honest. Edwards might fill the role as the power back, but still, that just doesn't really move the needle for me. You're not going to find a player that's going to give you high-end production on the streets at this point in the season. It is a gut punch. It is a big-time gut punch. Even if we had drafted Merritt in the 7th, he would not see the field given Sean and his issues with playing rookies. I mean, if they had drafted him at this point, they would have had to have played him because of the injuries. So, yeah, man, Sean would have kind of had his hand forced in that one. Isn't JK on a 1-year deal? Yes, he is. So they're going to have to make a decision on if they bring him back or not. I would be more inclined to sign Gus Edwards than Cam Akers. I'm sorry. I would be more inclined to sign Cam Akers than Gus Edwards. Yeah, I agree. I would much rather go after Cam Akers than Gus Edwards. Latavius Murray, I have heard that name floated around. Benjamin Albright, he floated that name around. I would not hate that option. He knows the offense. He's been here in Denver before. He was actually the last 100-yard rusher for the Denver Broncos back in 2022 before J.K. Dobbins finally got a couple of 100-yard games under his belt this year. So maybe, but he didn't play last year. He hasn't played this year. I think the last time he saw significant playing time was 2023 with the Bills. I don't know if he's got anything left in the tank at this point, but it might be worth a call to see where he's at this point in time. Time to ask Latavius Murray to unretire. They might call him. They might. He might be your best option at this point. 9 News, surgery to repair Liz Frank injury. Yep, there we go. Does Murray have anything left in the tank? Yeah, that's the big question. We don't know. If he's got something left in the tank, then I would not be surprised if the Denver Broncos were to sign him because, again, he knows the offense. He's played for Sean Payton. He's been here in Denver, albeit not with Sean Payton, but still, he's been here in Denver before. He knows Broncos country. He knows what this fan base is all about. And it might give him an opportunity to compete for a championship before he finally does hang up the cleats. Latavius Murray might not be a bad option, but Cam Akers, Damian Martinez, those are the guys that I might go after as opposed to Latavius Murray. Damian Martinez, he's available. He's not even on a practice squad right now. I have no clue why. There's probably some reason why, but I would be interested in bringing him in. Cliff said Broncos have not ruled him out for the playoffs. Some surgeries can recover quickly. At this point, though, I would say that's more of a hope than an expectation. Denver needs to be expecting to have him out for the rest of the season. If they get him back before that, great. But like I said, more of a hope than an expectation. Well, maybe he can come out of retirement. Even though he's retired, that doesn't mean he's permanently retired. So maybe they can call him and see if he wants to come out of retirement and join the Broncos. He might be your best option at this point in time. See if he's got 6, 7, 8 games left in the tank. Or we could just make Dondre Tillman RB1, and that would solve all of our problems. Audric Estime is on the active roster for the Saints, so he is not an option, unfortunately. All right, guys, we are approaching the 30-minute mark, so we're going to go ahead and wind this thing down. Character issues, well, there you go. Then probably Sean Payton's not going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. Before we get out of here, guys, if you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button on this stream as well as subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory whatsoever, but if you guys want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out and helping this channel grow, I would really appreciate it. The link is in the description below. All right, guys, and until next time, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying Peace out.